Welcome back to the second part of this video series showing you how to get some free video resource material for your copy of PowerDirector, either the 365 version or the Ultimate version. We left off in the last video showing that the DirectorZone page was removed from the Preferences choices several versions ago. Now, in the previous video, we looked at the last remaining link in the PowerDirector program that would eventually take you to the sound effects page of the DirectorZone. Today, as promised, I'm going to show you the second method of getting to the DirectorZone, a method that is much faster and easier. Here's the secret. Just use any web browser and go directly to the DirectorZone. You don't need to be running the PowerDirector program at the same time. While in the DirectorZone, you can download as much material as you wish. You can even extract and install the resource material without the PowerDirector program running. If you can't remember the complete URL or haven't saved or bookmarked the complete URL, just start by going to the main Cyberlink web page. I'll open a browser, and I'm going to type in cyberlink.com in the address bar. And once there, hover the mouse over Support and Learning on the top menu of that page, and then a list of other subjects will appear. Click on DirectorZone from that list, and that will open the main DirectorZone page. Now, towards the lower left, just click on See All Templates in the PowerDirector category. That's it, folks. That's all there is to it. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to leave the PowerDirector program running while I'm on the DirectorZone webpage. Now, let's take a quick look at the Titles category in DirectorZone. I'll just click on the word Titles, and immediately some various types of titles pop up. By default, the web page will start showing only those recently uploaded this month, so be sure to check that upload filter and change it to all time if desired. Scroll the page down, and you can see that there are 2,740 pages full of titles. Now, here is a very important part of DirectorZone. It would take you forever to find any title that you might want to use, so you need to learn how to use the search function. For example, let's search for a title that says The End. I'll just hover the mouse on the magnifying glass icon to open up the search bar. I'll type in the words The End, and then click on the search button. Now for the important part. The search has returned all kinds of templates, not just titles, that involve the words The End. So I'll need to use the filters on the left side. I'll click on the filter called Titles, and lower down I'll click on the 16:9 aspect ratio because that is the size that I want. What's left now is only 75 pages. Now, if I wanted to, I could click on Styles to maybe even narrow it down some more. But let's just look through what I have so far. If I don't like what I see on this page, I can go to the next page. If I spot a thumbnail that looks interesting, such as the very first one, I can click on that thumbnail, and it opens up in a larger animated thumbnail showing what the title really looks like. Some important information to check is the small text to the right. The title was rated 4.5 stars by the users. It is confirmed to be 16:9, and it is confirmed to work with PowerDirector versions 7 through 23. Notice that it was uploaded in the year 2010, indicating just how long this DirectorZone service has been around. If this is the one that I want, I just click on Download. And within seconds, it appears in my Download folder with a .dzt suffix, which, as you've probably guessed, stands for DirectorZone Title. And just like I did in the previous version, I'll rename this file, in this case, to The End. Then I'll copy it and navigate over to my archive collection and copy it into my folder for titles. Now back in the Download folder, I will right-click on the file and select Open With, and then select Cyberlink's Effect Extractor, and then click on Always. The file is then opened, extracted, and a message confirms that it has been installed in PowerDirector and is ready for use. If I were to download any other DZT files in the future, all I would have to do would be to double-click them in order to extract and install the title. Back in PowerDirector, I'll select the Downloads category of titles, and then I'll look for the one that I just downloaded. Once located, I can now preview it. I can also place it on the timeline and then hit F2 to load it into the advanced title editor. From there, I can change any text properties or animations applied to the text. That was easy. One minor thing to know is that you have no control over the name of any downloaded template, as it will appear in the PowerDirector program. For example, in my downloaded titles in PowerDirector, there is a title named G4743, and it appears to be some sort of romance or love-related subject. Regardless of how I may have renamed the .dzt file when originally downloaded, that was only for my own archives. When the file is extracted and installed, it gets installed with the internal name that is part of the download, and that is how PowerDirector recognizes it. Some of you may be thinking, gee, just load it into the advanced title editor and then click on Save As and use a different name, such as Romance. Well, yes, that works sort of, except any files saved using the Save As method are then considered a custom title. They do not go back into the same list of the other downloaded files, and the original G4743 file still remains in the download folder. All I've done here was to duplicate the title using a different name. So now you know why and how those download categories came into existence in PowerDirector. While looking around in the DirectorZone, be aware that some content is much better than others, and some may appear in a foreign language. If it's just text in a foreign language, you can easily change that using what you've learned by watching all of my lengthy and somewhat boring videos about title editing. Now, the DirectorZone is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So feel free to utilize the resources available at DirectorZone as much as you want. Everything is free.